all hear and see each other from the looks of it. Okay, I'll do the intro. So, this is the setting from 4th edition D&D of Nentir Vale via the system of Dungeon World. I'm Blake, your keeper, GM, what do you want to call it? Modern online gaming as usual. Okay, X cards on the table. I don't think it's probably going to be an issue though. It's standard sort of fantasy stuff. Now, does everybody have like the list of the access to the character keeper and the dice roller in the chat? Everyone have access to the character sheets and the player keeper stuff?
Yep.
I just keep checking my emails in case someone says I can't make it. Always happens. One session, I had 2 people drop out in the last 5 minutes, and then one person jump in 10 minutes afterwards, and it's like, what's going on?
My first ever Gauntlet session, I was signed up, and 2 people dropped out, and I had to track down a friend who happened to be online at the moment to get another person in order to prevent the cancellation.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. So I'll do the campaign spiel. So you're in the Nentir Vale in the town, starting in the town of Fort, in the middle of a broad borderland region known as the Nentir Vale. The Vale is now mostly empty, with a handful of living villages and towns scattered over this wide area. Abandoned farmsteads, ruined manors, and broken keeps litter the countryside. Bandits, wild animals, and monsters roaming freely throughout the Vale, threatening anyone who fares more than a few miles away from surviving settlements. Travelling along the road or river is usually safe, but every now and then travellers come to bad ends between towns. So that's why you're here, to make a difference or profit from the confusion. I don't know. I'm not your dad. Okay. I've got a shot. Any questions? Fire away. I could probably do that one. Okay. Photos. Share this thing. Let's zoom in a bit. Okay, so there's full crest. It's not good pointing good at my finger. That doesn't do anything. I'll point to it with the mouse. There's full crest there. But I mean, yeah, you can find this map anywhere. Just Google Nentir Vale and it'll come up. So yeah, that gives you a bit of an idea for layout. I thought it was a good area because it gives you enough to work with, but it's not like an entire world. If we set it all on fire, that's all right. We'll go to another area. Okay, let's get rid of that. Minimize. Jolly good. Well, I haven't heard from would be Adam. So yeah, does anyone have any ideas for characters?
I've ruled out what I don't want to be, but I've got some flexibility beside that. So
yeah, and if you want to be like
your audio's on the fritz.
Ooh. Try that. If you want to be a dwarven mage, you can just take one of the dwarven moves from the other classes and just port it over to wizard. That's fine. I'm not worried about class race restrictions because they're bullshit. So
I was kind of, and I'm super flexible too, but I was kind of thinking just a straight up fighter. But I'm open to if somebody else wants to go into that. So
I was leaning toward thief personally, but I'm open to adjusting to make it all work. So what were you thinking, David?
I was thinking not wizard, not cleric. So but I'm looking over the warlock right now, and we could go that direction, or possibly druid, for some party balance here.
Yeah, and I could definitely play a magic user also if you had something else in mind, David. I'm open to that. So
There's also I just merged them. I'll put them in separately. There are other races. I don't know why this app doesn't like cut and paste. Oh, that's better. Okay, get rid of that, get rid of that. Just check Slack. No one's trying to talk to me. Nope.
Yeah, I guess I'll be a druid.
Awesome. First Dungeon World game I played a druid, and I spent most of the session as a goat. It was good.
all right, I'll go with thief then, if that's okay with everybody. And then
No.
Joe, you're gonna go with fighter, you said?
Yep, I'll stick with fighter then.
I think that's what we need for a team, right? Fighter, thief, and then magic.
Jolly good.
If the fighter, a thief, and a druid walked into a bar.
Okay. Alrighty.
Then Blake, you're good with us just jumping in and just making
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool.
Have you pinged any of the people on the waiting list? I know there's one person signed up on the waiting list for all 8 sessions.
Yoicks, that's dedication. Yeah, Adam said he was coming, but it's kind of 10 minutes in now. So yeah, I keep Slack and email open just in case, but I'm not getting anything. Let's check my spam folder. Vigil Silveradder. Sounds like a Elder Scrolls character or something.
This was actually I made this character. I made a character named Vigil Silveradder for an old school Essentials game. After my character died, but then because of course it's old school Essentials, so your character dies every few sessions. But I never got to use it because someone else in the group, a new player that joined, wanted to play a thief. So
Yeah.
I just had that name just sitting there, and I was like, well, just make it into a Dungeon World character.
Yeah. No, back in I think it was January. Yeah, it was January because it's 31. We did a different character for every day of the month, and I chose a different system, like World of Darkness Werewolf, World of Darkness Changeling, every pbta game I could think of. So I've got 31 spare characters already made, sitting in a folder, and anytime I play any of those games, I can just go already made. Let's go.
Nice.
A few of them had Russian names, and now I'm like, that may not be as received as well as it used to be. I'll just
You don't want people to think that you are making some kind of statement there or something. Yeah,
I wasn't. I just wanted different because a lot of people never used to use Russian names, and now they'll do it even less.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So it's like, just change that bit and run with it.
Mm-hmm.
So question that I see there's on the things you said there's druid spells which aren't on the druid sheet that I had.
Okay. I wonder if that's wrong.
And there's no mention to spell casting as an ability, so I'm just confused as to how that.
Yeah, no, there should be no spells. They just get abilities to do shape shifting.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But then there's a sheet that says druid spells on it.
Yeah, ignore that.
Okay, that makes things easier.
Because I think someone did a revised edition and a lot of people liked it, but I'm like, no, they're shapeshifters in Dungeon World. If you want a kind of partial caster, then you go with Bard because they're a bit cleric, a bit wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried some homebrew stuff from drive-through for the classes, and it's like, this is so broken. I'm not putting this in the game.
Yeah, there are a lot of playbooks out there. A lot.
I mean,
everybody's favorite
as well,
movie
but
and TV character has a playbook out there, and so
yeah.
And shockingly, they are not balanced.
I mean, I do like it's incredibly unbalanced, but I do like the mage playbook. They have a good player and a good DM to make that work.
Yeah, I really like the idea of unstructured magic, like not spells. But you're right. You need to have good player, good DM to provide that. Otherwise, it could get really wacky really quick.
Okay, so I think we just do one bond each. So you've all met each other, but we just do one bond each. So we'll do it left to right. So Tim, if you want to offer a bond to David. So this is Thief to Druid.
Okay, let me think. All right, maybe I'll say that David's character knows incriminating details about me.
But I mean, that could just be, you cheated on your girlfriend. It could be you stole some food for your family once. It doesn't have to be you're trying to overthrow the king or anything. It's
Right. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I don't know what it is yet, but
Do you have an idea what it could be, David? Do you want to throw it in?
I would say what makes most sense. I don't think I'm going to specify it completely here. I think we'll let that emerge in play. But I would suggest that this incriminating thing I know about you is why we're traveling together. And I don't know. What do you think? Whether it's why I'm following you around or why you're following me around?
yeah, I think it's kind of thief-like to like keep an eye on the person that like knows a secret about you, right? So maybe you know something incriminating about me, and so I decided, well, I'm not a bad person. I'm not going to hurt you, but I do want to keep you close to keep an eye on you and make sure you don't do anything that would be to my detriment with that knowledge, I guess. Is kind of what I'm thinking. What do you think about that, David?
Works for me.
But what it is,
I think we can let it emerge as we
let it emerge.
play,
I like that. Good.
All right.
We have
David,
some
do you have
uneasiness
a
between
bond?
us, and yeah.
All right, so, David, do you have a bond to offer Joe?
Hi, Daddy. What are you doing?
So, Joe, here's a proposal for you. Like, you're this big, tough fighter. One of the options for the bonds for the druid is blank smells more like a prey than a hunter. And I like the incongruity there. That, like, and I'd propose that, like, this would be something fairly fundamental to your character, so you can feel free to reject this. But I'd propose that there's something that causes you to smell like to not have the smell of a predator that you would expect based on your outward appearance. Some inner weakness or trauma,
like maybe he's afraid of the dark or something.
Yeah, like some fear or personality thing that you have that is not that ordinary people who can't smell like I can would never guess.
Yeah, I'm good with that because I have an idea of what that might be based on some ideas I had for my character. So is that do I put that down in my bond or is his?
It's his.
Okay.
I mean, I right now I've written down the other one on mine too. Just for
you can keep notes of it, but so you're generally traveling for safety in numbers, but there's a real reason as well. And then Joe, if you have a bond to offer Tim.
I was thinking that I'm just kind of going off some of the ones that are on here.
Or if you can think of something else, that's fine.
Yeah. How about Vigil owes me their life, whether they admit it or not? You may reject that.
Nope. I'm into that. No, I think Vigil, in true like thief fashion, is probably a bit of a scumbag. So it might be that like you have saved my skin, and I'm just sort of ungrateful, or I'm worried that if I acknowledge it, that that you'll use it on as leverage against me, even though you probably wouldn't, right? I'm a scumbag, and I know I would use.
Is it leverage. Like a social situation where you prevented him getting thrown in prison, or is it like fighting monsters and you literally saved his life?
What do you think, Tim? I'm okay. I'm open to either one.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been like I was gonna get like locked up for some con I was engaged in, and you kind of swooped in and bailed me out with maybe some sort of plausible story and maybe a little bit of intimidation or something that you were
It
able
wasn't
to.
him in the book depository with a crossbow.
He was with me. He was with me at the cafe at that time.
We were in
If
the
anyone
cafe and
says
grabbing
different,
the
then
gold.
I'll have something to say about it. Yeah.
I see. Oh, Durian, you've got a name. Okay, cool. I was going to say we're doing the fine tradition of naming the character last, but
Yeah. I'm working on it. Working on a lot of things.
and you're all human. Okay.
I've always liked humans mostly for most of my characters.
I couldn't agree less.
I find the human lets you focus more on the personality and your class abilities without getting dragged down. If I'm not a human, I'm a dwarf. Pretty much, those are the two.
The most common thing I play is a lycanthrope, but you know, so you could debate whether they're human or not.
Do you start it like Lycanthrope, or do you just happen to keep getting cursed?
No, I chose it deliberately. One of the gauntlet cons, I had 5 in one weekend. It was great. But one of them got, because it was trophy and he got cursed, and it went from a were-cat to half-time were-cat, half-time were-bear. They were going mad and life was downhill, but that's Trophy Dark for you. Alrighty. So, there's a couple of quests. Been running modern games for a couple of years now, so it's weird to say the word quests again instead of mission or you got a phone call. None of that shit. No phones, no electricity, nothing. Okay. So, I'm going to say Vigil. There's a sepia flashback to Vigil talking to Ixtal, the cleric of Avandra. She's saying, there's some catacombs beneath town. If you, brave enough to check it out, might be something interesting down there for you. There's no reward for anything, but, anything you find is yours sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always interested in a payday. So.
Well, potential payday, but maybe nothing.
That's right.
There was also another, sepia flashback. We're going to say Elavor. Okay. That's very fantasy. Elavor.
Hey, could someone refresh my memory on hit points? I can't remember off the top of my head what that is.
It's just your constitution from
the
memory.
score or your modifier?
No, your actual score.
So mine says Constitution +6 for Druid.
That's what I was thinking too. It's that there's a class base number that you have, and then you add your Constitution.
I'm sorry, I see it here. So Constitution, his is Constitution +10. So what is that?
You got 25.
25.
In other words. Yeah, which is stacks your brick shit house.
I'm sure you'll find ways to chip away at that.
Oh, easily.
As will I.
Alrighty. The fighter. So what's his name? Durian.
220, 221.
Okay. So Durian is told by Targon, the Dwarven Bard, there's some kobolds been menacing an area, and they're hanging around a place called Kobold Hall, which is west of town, and there is actually a reward to get rid of them of 100 gold each. And yeah, if you kind of present yourself nicely to the people, nicely to the people offering it, you might actually get rights to the hall. They just want the kobolds gone.
Cool.
Now, as players, it's up to you guys how you play. If you take on that one and decide you want to recruit the kobolds as retainers, or you want to bribe them and sell them a chunk of swamp to get them out of there, or whatever, that's up to you. Play how you want. You don't have to go in and kill everybody. Or if you want to do that, go ahead. I'm not your dad. So yeah, you've been told about those 2 missions. We've done it already. Quests.
So, David, how does your shapeshifter ability work? Like, you can shift into pretty much anything, or
Yeah, I'll just read it out. So when you may take on the physical form of any animal whose essence you have studied or who lives in your land. In my case, my land is the Whispering Plains. You and your possessions meld into a perfect copy of the animal's form. You have any innate abilities and weaknesses of the form. Claws, wings, gills, breathing water instead of air, etc. You still use your normal stats, but some moves may be harder to trigger. A house cat will find it hard to do battle with an ogre. The GM will also tell you 1 or more moves associated with your new form. So when I roll this, I roll plus wisdom, and I hold 3 on a 10 plus, 2 on a 7 to 9, and 1 on a 6 minus. I can spend 1 hold to make that move that I am given. When I'm out of hold, I return to my natural form. I can also do this at any time.
nice. I wonder if, like, the way that you got the incriminating information about me was like maybe you do like go around sort of as some sort of unobtrusive animal. You know, I don't know. That just popped into my head that would make sense. Maybe why you had that incriminating knowledge, but so I still don't know what that thing is. I just as I was thinking about how would a druid.
Yeah, maybe they were a snake coiled around a tree.
Right. How would a druid have gotten incriminating information on a thief? And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah.
But just because he's a druid, that doesn't mean he's not into smuggling or whatever it is. You know, they can still do a lot of dodgy deeds. It's just you're better at it. I mean,
that works. I like that.
A lot of the times Conan was a thief, not a barbarian. He was breaking into stuff.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It's just he was built like Darian. All right. So yeah, do either of those quests grab you, or you're going to ask around for other ones, or do you want to look at the map and say, yeah, let's just go over there and see what we find?
I mean, I kind of like the kobold one. It'd be cool to have a base of operations, I guess, but
yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm trying to get a voice for Elevor in my head. Not quite there yet.
That's fine. That's okay. So
Don't be disappointed. You're already hearing the voice of Darian. So
most of my fighters have the "we have to fight for justice" voice, and that's it. I've only got like 3 voices, and that's one of them. Let's see. So Kobold Hole is about 25 miles through kind of hilly terrain, and what else I've got? We can go with that. You doing anything special? Do we see anything? Well, when we see you sort of preparing to go on this trip, what do we see? Is blah blah blah. Find the names. Is Vigil doing anything special? You think? Is he ripping someone off or stealing stuff, or is he, checking his gear? What's his preparation montage?
I actually think we would see him sort of in like this shabby, rundown penthouse room at the top of this ramshackle old building. And he's sitting in there, and you see him like grinding up different ingredients to make his what's the poison called? I think it's oil
Oil of Tadget.
Tadget.
Yeah, it's a popular one.
So, grinding up ingredients, making my oil of Tadget. Maybe you see me just take like the tiniest amount on my grubby finger and kind of like taste it and like, okay, that's
Yep.
that'll be good. And then
So this like an attic that he hasn't paid rent for or nothing. He's just crept in there and kept quiet.
oh yeah, I'm just a squatter, right? I'm just a squatter. Like this is a place. Yeah, there's rats scurrying around. It's not even like properly enclosed. I think at this point, you know, if it rains, water's just gonna get in. I probably got like old cast iron pots to catch the rainwater. Yeah,
So
that's where I am. That's what you see.
Human with shifty eyes, messy hair, and dark clothes, knobbly body. Huh.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not totally sure what that looks like, but just thinking.
I think you got your joints that kind of
exactly
stick out,
just super skinny. Yeah, exactly.
So Darian, what do we see you doing as you're preparing to leave town? Or
Yeah, I think you'll see him somewhere, whether it's a room or by the stables or whatever, tending to all of his gear very diligently, as a former any good soldier would do. You know, especially taking good care of his ancestral sword that he has, and you know, making sure all the armor is, you know, fit and ready and everything. Just kind of that sort of that quiet before the storm that you have when you're, you know, taking care of everything and getting in the right headspace to.
So you've got battered helm and scarred skin. So I'm thinking you're not like fresh out of high school or nothing. You're like 40 or something, or
Yeah, so I think he's kind of a what you might consider like the grizzled veteran. I was thinking a little bit about his story. I kind of envisioned that he is the last of he's sort of a scion of a dead noble house, right? Like, and by scion we're talking there ain't much of the blood left, right? Like it's third cousin of a third cousin, right? But this ancient sword he has is the only thing left of that house, right? And so he takes very, very good care of it.
Cool. Okay, Elevor, well, what are you doing? Do you prep, or you just wait on the edge of town because you weren't in town in the first place? Or
no, I think Elevor has actually a little farm right outside on the outskirts of town. It's not so much a farm, like, you know, he's not much actually for tilling in the soil. He's more of like an animal hoarder.
Yeah.
And so he's got you know, a bunch of livestock, so many cats, like barn cats.
That's like a small farm. It's not like 1,000 head of cattle.
Yeah, no, just this little farm where it's mostly just like, you know, clover and stuff for the animals to graze on. We've got chickens and some cows and all sorts of livestock that he's just are like all like half feral. So like far more animals than there should be on a farm of this size. And he is you know, actually packing to go is very easy for him, but he has to say goodbye to each animal individually before he leaves. And these are not short conversations.
I can see the goat rear up and give you a fist bump.
Yeah, Fanny's always been cool.
Good. Okay. I think.
Can I ask a quick, just a clarification thing? I picked the tag huge for the sword. Does that translate to like two-handed, where then they can't have a shield?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yeah. But it also means you can, you know, logistically you can affect stuff like a giant or an elephant or something, because it's just huge. It can actually damage it because of sheer size.
All right. I kind of thought that, but that obviously will mean I will not take shield as a piece of equipment then.
Yeah. And if you're in a narrow corridor, it's like, your sword's gonna cause problems. But what I hear you saying is you want massive creatures to come at you, and that's cool. I can accommodate that. Alrighty. So I think just before Vigil sort of steps out of his borrowed attic, there's a sink behind him, and a tooth drops out. It just tinkles into the bottom of the sink. There's a lovely omen for you.
My tooth fell out?
No. A tooth comes out of the faucet.
Oh, out of the faucet. Okay.
Well, Nentir Vale has faucets now. It's moving up in the world.
Well, some of the places anyway, because it's something that's new and upcoming. It's barely survived through whatever the last war was or whatever. Okay.
I think
I mean,
I will grab the tooth, put it in my pocket. You never know when that might come in handy, you know. Is it just like does it look like a human tooth?
Do you want it to look like a human tooth? Would you rather something else?
No, I think a human tooth. I think just like a front human tooth. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go on.
Okay. Yeah. So you head out of town. It's not really worth undertake a perilous journey because it's only like a day trip. And it's, so what I can do is show you what the terrain's like. Yeah, that's going to work. Let's ignore the two werewolves there. They're not there. But the rest of it, that's sort of what you're traveling through.
I'm sure that's what you'd like us to think.
So yeah, it's a little bit, cold, temperate climate. A little bit, I don't know, Sleepy Hollow / Vermont. Yeah, okay. What we can do. Traveling on the road, does anyone want to take one of these options to talk about? If anyone has an idea, you don't have to, but it's just an option.
Yeah, so I think what does your name mean? Because I thought about it because this is like a name I made a long time ago, but I think I don't think Silver Adder is not really his last name, but it's a name he took because first of all, it kind of is a double meaning, right? He chose it because one, it's supposed to be scary, like an adder being a poisonous snake, right? So like literally like a snake with silver scales, but also it's silver adder, right? So like one who accumulates precious metal. So it's this really like contrived name that he came up with that he thinks sounds super cool, and but really he's a scumbag who's carrying around that fell out of his faucet. So there's that. Yeah.
Well, I got bitten by a snake once, and he sort of holds up his hand and like points to his arm, where there are actually many bite marks, and he points to one particular pair of like bite scars. I tried to pet it, didn't want to be pet. Was very cross with me.
It's best if you give snakes their space. You don't want to make them feel cornered.
Snakes don't really have corners, though. They're very curved.
That's true. Well observed.
Darian is just shaking his head and just keeps walking. He's more Scar than not Scar, so he
Jolly good. All right. Okay, so we're doing that one. No, we're not. We're doing that one. Oh, okay. So it's raining just light rain. It's not like a torrential downpour. And
Yeah, Elivor doesn't seem to mind. He's used to the rain. He's just sort of walking on, like, munching on like some berries that he has in a bag, and, like, whistling in between bites. It's very tuneless. No sense of tune or pitch whatsoever.
Poor Darian.
Yeah, I don't think the rain bothers Darian. You know, as a mercenary soldier, he's sat in the mud and rain and just kind of grim faces it. You know, forward, pretty stoic.
Okay. Alrighty. So you've got some idea where the hall is that the kobolds have taken over, but you'll get there after dark. So do you want to march straight up to it, or are you going to stay back and sort of camp for the night and go in the morning? Or Darian would know kobolds are generally nocturnal.
I guess it partially depends on if our approach is going to be force or diplomacy.
So we can say it's 3 in the afternoon, and then you sort of have a chat about how we're going to do this.
Yeah, and so they've been refreshed. I know you just said this, so I shouldn't need my memory refreshed. But so they've been causing trouble, and we're being
attacking caravans,
yeah.
But they've been doing it for a while. They've been here for 5 or 10 years or so. That's why people commonly call it Kobold Hall, because the original name was forgotten.
Well, one thing I know that kobolds want is they're always in want of a strong leader. So I say we tell them that you know, they need to get some guidance from us, and perhaps they will be able to you know, make even more ill-gotten gains with us.
I can't trust kobolds. They're always eating more than they should.
Yeah, I mean, you can chat to them and negotiate with them, but they will eat you if they're sort of hungry enough or whatever. So an alliance is possible, but so it's up to you lot.
If I were playing Barbarian, I might take a very different approach here. Boss these little squibs around, but and I recognize the irony of saying, like, if I was a violent character, I would take the path of less violence here. But
yeah, you know, they asked us to take care of this, and I don't think, you know, there's any chance that kobolds could be trusted, and I'm not super interested in being the Lord of Kobold Hall. My recommendation is to exterminate the kobolds. That's what we're here to do. I think we just take care of the kobolds. That's Darian talking. Sorry. That's my Darian voice.
So I think we do a little reconnaissance and see maybe they do have a leader of some sort, whether it's an exceptionally courageous kobold or some other creature that is commanding them, organizing them. If we can take that creature, either kill it or take it captive, I think that the rest of the kobolds might be able to just be, you know, easily taken out or chased out.
I think that might be wise. Definitely the reconnaissance piece to at least know what we're getting into, because as of right now, we don't know. Are we talking about 5 kobolds, 10 kobolds, 100 kobolds, right? I mean, our tactics will definitely depend on what so Darian's all for some reconnaissance to at least get a sense of what we're dealing with.
All right. I'll go take a look.
So it's 3 in the afternoon. Well, mid-afternoon. It's raining. What do we see Elevor do?
So it's 3 in the afternoon?
Yeah.
And we're already there, or?
No. It's another 3 hours to get there.
Oh yeah, no. Well, yeah. So well, let's take a little break until it gets a little darker, and then I'll go in. And if you are fine with that, once it gets closer to twilight, he's going to suddenly turn into the shape of a burrowing owl, native to the plains, and fly around the Kobold Hall at night.
Okay. Oh, yes, you got to roll. Okay, so roll plus wisdom.
All right, first roll of the game. Here comes the snake eyes. Okay. Oops. Am I doing this wrong? This looks different than I'm used to.
So
that's an 8 plus 2 is 10.
all right, so you got 3. So yeah, turn into an owl. Who knows? So you probably went a bit closer until you're only like an hour away, and then you made a camp somewhere.
Mm-hmm. And then Elevor suddenly, just in weird, creepy way, he's sort of walking along with his staff, and then he sort of nods, and like this, his whole body, staff and all, just sort of collapses into this little brown owl that hoots and takes off into the twilight.
Okay. Yeah, the rain would have sort of faded off by now, but everything's kind of damp and it's cold because we'll say it's autumn. Should probably note that somewhere. Yeah. Okay. Is Vigil doing anything while Elevor's off being an owl?
I do think that maybe I'll just skulk around the outskirts of the hall. I'll let him be the one to get closer in since he has a much better disguise. But, with my dark clothes, I might just kind of skulk around. And I kind of have a thing where I just always, whenever I'm around Elevor, I kind of like to keep an eye on him. So I'm gonna skulk around the outskirts of the hall.
There's not really a stealth move, is there? It's just
No, not really.
defy danger. Okay.
Defy danger, yeah. But I suppose I would use dexterity because I'm skulking. I guess that's what makes it stealth, right? Is that because you can use any stat for defy danger?
Yeah.
Is that kind of the idea? Okay. Unless you think I should roll with another stat, that's fine.
I mean, you're not in a hurry, so I could see an argument for wisdom from just something you've practiced again and again and again, but otherwise dexterity, yeah.
Okay, great. So I'll roll 2d6 plus dex. Okay, so 11 plus 2, so 13.
Okay. All right, so you're blending in, you're not making noise. What's Darian doing? Just back at camp, or?
Yeah, I think Darian will take up he'll look for some sort of I don't know if I'd call it a defensible position, but somewhere where he's kind of out of sight, but can kind of survey, if there's like a copse of trees or something or wherever, so he can kind of, while they're doing their thing, kind of stay concealed while they're skulking around. He's not much of a skulker.
Trying to forget. Description here. Come on. That's better. Yeah, God, why is this so small? That's better. So it was the estate of a minor lord. It's an old castle, so it's been abandoned for about a century. Ah, that's not exactly informative. Ah, okay. So yeah, it's sticking slightly out above the hills around it. Yeah, there's a little bug in front of me. Yeah, it's you know, you're not going to need a battering ram or anything. You can probably just climb the wall or go for a hole in the wall. This thing, you can't see. You can see movement occasionally through like the arrow slits, but there's not like guards up on the top or anything. And if there were, you wouldn't see them because the kobolds are only like 3 foot tall. It's like... But okay. So, Vigil would see there's tracks coming out of 2 sides of the manor. Nothing in the last day though. Just yeah, there's lots of little kobold feet tracks. Elevor. I need a bloody map, don't I? Where's my map gone? Where the hell is it gone? I'll go in this way. Kobold Hall. That one. So many tabs open. Okay. So I think that bit would okay. So you kind of got the central hall, and above it is like an open courtyard that the druid/owl would be able to see in. Get rid of some of these tabs. Okay. So there would be, yeah, you'd see a couple of campfires with, I don't know, maybe a dozen kobolds up there.
Yeah, and the kobolds seem it's night, so the kobolds seem pretty active.
They're just cooking what would be breakfast for them, I guess. They kind of chilled out. It's not like a well-run military operation or anything. They're just sitting around a bonfire.
Let's see. Do they appear to have a guard set?
There's a couple up on each corner, but they're just, yeah, they're more just chatting. They're not sort of actively looking out of the darkness.
Let's see. I mean, is this examination I'm doing thorough enough that I would be discern realities, or
You can do.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try to take a detailed survey of this camp, looking for any potentially valuable insights.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that's it. Wisdom. Which will affect if they notice you or not.
If I remember the syntax here correctly. That just building a dice pool.
You can just generally highlight them and then hit the re-roll button down the bottom. But yeah, it looked like you rolled 2 5s unless I missed something.
Yeah. I'll take that, I guess. Yeah. So that's 12.
Yeah. All right. So let's go.
I'll start with what should I be on the lookout for? It's the obvious first question here.
You know kobolds make traps. Now, obviously, you can't see any, and that's where they're all walking around. But you know, if you go down there and start wandering around the rooms and stuff, there's probably going to be traps. So,
let's see. What here is not what it appears to be.
kobolds are diggers and tunnelers. So this is the iceberg thing. Whatever's here, there's going to be a lot more below ground.
What here is useful or valuable to me?
Probably the keep itself. It's fairly run down. A strong person could probably push over some of the bricks or lob some of the bricks from the keep at the kobolds if you wanted to strike confusion. But obviously, that's only going to work a couple of times before they get wise and take cover.
All right. So after a few hours of observing and maybe a little mousy snack to keep myself tided over, I fly back to the camp. And I think I sort of land next to sort of fly down on silent wings right up to Darian and just hoot right behind him. And then
Ow, slash now.
And then poof back into Elevor's human form.
Go back to the owl. No.
So, Darian's, what's the situation? How many are there? What did you learn?
Oh, there's about a dozen of them on top, but you know, kobolds, they're diggers. There's who knows how many underground. I know my accent is shifting here. That will happen. Vigil, you're gonna have to be on the lookout for traps around there. I can't see any, of course, but Darren, a lot of the masonry is really loose, so you might be able to push some over, trap a couple or something like that. But there's a couple dozen. They've got some guards, but they're not super observant. I think the traps are the real danger here.
Would I have seen when I was kind of sneaking around? Would I have seen any of the guards standing like outside the wall or anything?
I think occasionally a couple of them sort of wander out, have a look, and they kind of look and listen for a minute, and then they go back in. They're kind of doing minimal effort.
Would it be a good idea, do you guys think, for me to try and grab one of the guards and just kind of, pull them back into the woods, and then we could like question them about, where the traps are, how to get in, who's in charge, that kind of stuff. And if that's a bad idea, then we can roll with something else. But just a thought.
Well, I'm thinking that while kobolds are not individually are not the most dangerous thing, a dozen plus of them could overwhelm even the strongest of warriors. And does anybody have anything from a, I don't think any of us have any sort of like ranged weaponry, right? So we're probably in for a penny, in for a pound once we hit the ground running. So it might not be the worst idea, because they are little diggers. There's probably pit traps and all sorts of shenanigans around in there that if you think you can pull it off, Vigil, I mean, I'll have your back to the best that I can. But I'm also not very sneaky. So you're going to have a period of time where you're on your own. Otherwise, if I'm clomping up around there, they're gonna know somebody's
Gonna
there.
lob your sword at them like a javelin.
Yeah, clunk, 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 and So, but that I'll have your back the best I can if you wanna try to get one of them, and then it might give us a little more of a sense of like who's in charge, or if they do have a leader. Because I think you said that earlier, out of character, that might be one of our best options, is cut off the head, so to speak. So.
Darian, of course I can pull this off. If I can steal the prize jewels of the Marquis from under his nose, of course I can make off with a mere kobold guard. They are not being very careful. Let me just say that.
Well, I have faith in your skills, but my alibi won't get you out of this one this time. So be careful.
All right, so you're going to try and kidnap one of the guards.
Yeah, so I think my plan would be to sneak back, because I already kind of scoped out that area, so just kind of follow the same route back and maybe kind of just wait by the spot where I had seen a guard wander out before.
Okay.
And yeah, wait for them to wander out and
I think this is Defy Danger, but I'm going to say Wisdom, because you're waiting for the right moment where you don't alert the rest of them. You can get in position. That's easy enough.
Sounds good.
Timing thing.
So would it work for my poison? Can I have a rag that's soaked in the oil of Tadget, and I'm trying to sneak up behind him and grab him and then like chloroform, put it over his face and then have him breathe it in. And okay.
Now, is Elevor just going to be back at the camp, or are you going to be waiting nearby as a diversion in case this will go south, or you muted?
I'm a little stealthier than Darian, so I'll probably be following at a bit of a distance for the immediate backup, and then Darian's the cavalry if things really go south.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think Darian's going to try to get within reason, as close as without taking any unnecessary risks. Right, he's certainly not going to try to sneak up in, but if there's a way to get as close as possible without taking too much of a risk, that's where he'll be. So he can try to keep an eye on the best he can is what's going on, and if
Yep. I think while you're sort of crouched behind a tree and some bushes, you see Vigil creeping up, but you notice there's some poo here, and it's either dog, wolf, warg, something like that, because you've seen it before. Now, Vigil. Oh, sorry, you want to say something, Durian?
Yeah. So I was just is Elevar? Are you with me?
I can be. My first thought was that I would be sort of following Vigil a little more closely, and then you're we would sort of spread out.
Nope.
Vigil's the point of the spear. I'm the immediate backup, and you're the cavalry.
Yep. Nope. That's perfect. I was going to point out the poo, but if you're not there, I'll just be. I'm kind of, a little bit even more heightened awareness of there's something big.
He's dropped out.
Big
I'm still here. I just camera off for a
cool.
second.
There's something big around. Is it something? I'm just keeping. Now I'm a little extra aware of what's going on.
It's not. No, it's not like a massive poo, but it's definitely dog, wolf, warg sort of.
Okay. Cool.
Size and shape, without picturing it or anything. Okay, Vigil. Let's do your Defied Angel Wisdom.
Okay, so that should be +1.
Because they're not expecting it. It's not about hitting them. It's about the surprise to get up there.
Yeah, that makes sense. A 3 and a 5, I think. Somehow the dice overlapped on the screen. Yeah, it looks like a 3 to 5. So 8 + 1, so 9.
Okay.
Yeah, this is weird. I remember Roll With Me looking different, like having a more of a screen that's like showing, so and so rolled this, and I'm not seeing any of that pop up.
Yeah, mine's not refreshing the where it says so and so got a. Normally, it'll after he rolls, you'd see it. It would say. Yeah, I refreshed just a second ago, and then it popped in, but it's not staying refreshed. It reminds me of our game the other week, Blake, where one of the guys just couldn't get it. Just had all shades of trouble with the roller, and
yeah, that was thingy. He always has connection trouble with the dice thing. Okay, it is rolling them now. It's actually giving me I reloaded the page. All right, so Vigil, you can slide on the wet ground, so you're not hurt, but they've seen you and you've missed them, or you've got one of them, but the other one's going to sound the alarm.
I think.
So if you slide, they haven't seen you. You just missed, sort of thing.
Okay. I think I grab one, but maybe he maybe he has like a chance to yell out before I get him to go to sleep from my oil. Is that all right?
Yeah, so you grab one, the other one goes okay. And that's probably a good spot for a break. We'll have a couple of minute bio break.
Great.
If that's a good spot. Yep. Cool.
Yep, sounds good. Cool.
I forgot how quickly it gets things rolling in this game.
Yeah.
Because when I went from Pathfinder First Edition to running Dungeon World, it's sort of 2 hours in, you're like, shit, we've done a lot already.
Right. In Pathfinder, you've measured the distance between each of the characters and the enemy, and then yeah.
Even when we did it by Theatre of the Mind, it was just so much slower.
Yeah. I'm trying to get into the. I'm glad nobody else wanted to be a fighter because Tim and I are in a game on Monday nights, and I'm a goblin bard. So when you were saying earlier, no, I kind of wanted something a little more vanilla, maybe.
Yeah.
And then I've started my first. I took the leap and I started a game of Brindlewood Bay on Tuesday night. So.
Yeah, I try and play different sort of outlooks. So someone's a warrior, the next one is not going to be a warrior. They're going to be a merchant or a spellcaster or something. Just help clearly identify them in my head.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, this was back when I first started playing role-playing games, like early high school. So that was right when 3.5 came out. And my philosophy then was, like, why would you ever play anything other than a spellcaster? Like, if you're going to play a fantasy game, like, then you need to be able to do magic, right? So, like, I only played spellcasters, like, for
That's why
years
I don't
and
play
years
humans,
and years.
because I'm like, be something else.
But now I've found the fun in all the other classes as well. But yeah, I definitely have like a 5 or 6 year stretch where it was like, okay, yeah, spellcasters only.
Yeah. But then I used to play my old Pathfinder group. It didn't matter what class race combination they played, they had the same personality every character. And it's just like, he's doing this bullshit again. Oh no. Yeah. Alrighty. Okay, so Kobold number 2 has just sounded the alarm. Duh, 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 duh. Okay. Well, it's more like and thrusts his spear. So, Vigil, you've got one with the chloroform oil of Tadget.
Mm-hmm.
The other kobold is going for you with the spear. What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna try to just start pulling the one that I have, just running with him
moving away.
back,
Okay.
just running with him back into the woods, basically, or wherever there's cover, shrubs, trees, just away from there.
So that sounds like Defy Danger Dex in this case. He's not just
Right.
going to charge because he doesn't want to stab his buddy. They're not, while they eat humans, they're not cannibals.
Right. Okay. All right. 4, 1, 5 plus 2, 7.
I was going to say, Elivor and Darren, you were kind of watching and waiting. Are you going to do anything to try and aid this, or are you just...
There's one other kobold that's here.
Yep. It has yelled out the alarm, though. Well, not that their voices are super loud, but...
I think I am going to suddenly turn into a rattlesnake.
Okay.
One of them real venomous plains rattlesnakes.
Yep.
And try to give this guy a bite in his probably not booted heel. So...
Okay, roll for your shapeshift. 5 and a 3 from
well,
looks of it.
yeah. So that's an 8-10. 3 hold.
Yeah, he's not expecting it, so bam, that's fine. You can mark, because he would not be expecting a snake to come out in the night in wet weather. It's like, no, bam. So you've been just going, and he's gone, clutching his leg, gone crashing into the bushes. You can hear noises in the manor, in the ruins, but you've got a drugged kobold. What are you 3 doing?
I sort of give a rattle, and I don't hear any immediate crashing through the woods of anyone nearby or anything like that.
Not yet.
Yeah, then I just retreat and go back, stay in snake form for a few minutes, and then probably if no one else is immediately near, just revert.
So, did Elevar bite the kobold, or did it just run away?
Yeah. The second one, he got it on the leg and it tumbled into the
leg.
bushes.
Okay. So at least for now, we think we may have gotten away.
Yeah.
Unscathed, at least for now. So I think we want to question it, them. I guess let's find out if it even speaks the same language we do, right? So, we'll ask it. Can you understand us?
And it's barking some other noises. Would one of you speak Draconic? If you can think of a reason why you would, then you do, basically.
Yeah, I speak lots of languages, but not that.
I mean, Darian, maybe you fought a bunch of creatures that had that language, or maybe you allied with a bunch of creatures that had that language against a third.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe we could, maybe fictionally we could justify that in his time as a mercenary, he's and fought amongst many different and maybe has enough of a spattering of the language to make out a little bit, right?
Yeah, sure. I'd say it's saying no kill. This is like half an hour later when it's come to, because that stuff's not subtle. So yeah, it's like no kill.
Yeah, and I think he'll say we're not no kill, and then we'll keep it real simple, right? Because I don't think he's not fluent in directly. It's like how many of you?
And it sort of says,
how many others?
It's like 310.
So that's 13 or 30.
Probably the latter.
Yeah.
Going by.
Yeah. Three. Right. Yeah.
A few of them.
Leader. Who's your leader?
You can see him kind of thinking about it. He says, "Me, leader." You've visually experiencing people of all kinds bullshitting, and you know it's bullshitting. You can just tell by the facial gestures.
I mean, I think we want to maybe turn this. I definitely don't want to actually probably hurt this creature that's just totally helpless, but I wouldn't be averse to making him think that we might, right? I think we want to turn the screws on this little guy a little bit, and he's in
leverage for parlay.
That's right. I mean, it's his life after all. Should be some good leverage, right?
Yeah. So I think maybe we have there might be a little good cop, bad cop sort of, So I think Darian will kind of shake his head and shrug, and then look to Vigil, and maybe Vigil is is a little more menacing, or does something to maybe try to scare him into more information.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just take my one of my throwing daggers and just kind of touch it like up against his neck and get really close to him with like my yellow and orange, bug infested teeth, and just you answer that man,
Okay. Okay. chief below, cave below.
How do we get in? Is there another way into the cave?
That's a good bloody question. Is there another way into the cave? Yes, there is. Yeah, you know that.
Because I think we probably assume that there's some entrance within the keep of some sort, or within the manor, right? I think that's I think that's probably a reasonable at this point in time assumption. But I think, is there another back door? Maybe that's the question to ask.
Yep.
Where's the back door?
Yes, there is.
So I'll turn to these guys and say, why don't let's have him lead us to the back door.
Yeah. Well, it sounds incredible. You don't help betray us.
Right, but knowing that he'll betray us is we know that, right? So we'll be Vigil will be vigilant about we all know that there's going to be traps, right? So that's a pat Vigil on the back. That's why Vigil is here.
Your pat is strong enough that it kind of knocks me forward.
But yeah, I think maybe we could bind him or something, and then have him lead us, so that to where the back door might be.
All right. He kind of looks at you and show back door. You give sword. Me have sword. And he's pointing to your ancestral sword.
yeah. I don't even think Darian doesn't even respond.
He's like, well, back door near little ones. You kill.
Yeah, we won't hurt you. You show us the back door.
No.
No, he said little ones, right?
Oh, little ones. Oh, of course not. No.
And he's sort of looking at you. And he looks at Darian. What's Elevor doing during this discussion?
I think Elevor is actually having a really animated discussion with a field mouse. He's just sort of chirping back. No, he's whispering and he's being common, and the mouse is chirping back at him. And if anyone listens to him, he's not asking where's the secret entrance? He's so how's your wife doing? And he's completely lost interest in this whole kobold interrogation thing, and has found a more interesting interlocutor.
Yep. How's your burrow and your 80 children?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So
we used to have
No, I was just say I was thinking, Darian's definitely a hard, warrior, but he's not interested in killing children, no matter what they are.
Yeah.
Vigil, maybe let's maybe a change of tact, right? Maybe we try to get him to take us to the leader, and then maybe we either cut the head off or convince them to relocate, and at least we'll have fulfilled the terms of our employment.
Yeah. I mean, they're willing to talk, I think it's an option.
Yeah, I think just out of game, I don't I think I don't want a scene where we are in a position where we'd be harming
younglings,
children or anything like that. Yeah, so whatever we would need to do to avoid that,
Yeah,
that
that's
kind of
cool.
a confrontation, I think would
Yeah.
probably would be
Yeah, and I
best.
think out of character for sure. But I think even as a character, he's not going to be. He's not
Yeah,
going
that's
to
not
be.
his thing.
Right.
It's not going to be
And
his thing.
and Vigil's a scumbag, but he wouldn't hurt.
With a heart.
You just come back with a heart of gold.
With a heart of
right,
gold,
yeah.
yes.
He's not evil. He's just
Or
a scumbag.
maybe a heart of brass with guilt on top.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
gold leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we'll get him to. I think what we want to do is get him to take us to the leader, but through the back door.
Right.
That might give us a little more of a surprise versus trying to walk right through the front door.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Alright,
our
so-
goal, right? Is to not have to fight through the kobolds to try and get directly to the leader, and whether that's
Yeah.
a negotiation or we take him out to send the kobolds scattering, we'll
Right.
determine that later. But right, I think that's the tactic, right?
It feels now, given the numbers of us versus the numbers of them, feels probably like the at least a decent tack for now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you kind of role play through Parlay, basically, as long as you agree not to hurt the younglings, he'll take you through the back door, secret tunnel. Couple of minutes of going through the woods, moving a few rocks. No, this is not the one. Moving a few rocks and bushes. No, this is not the one. Third time. Okay, this is how we. I mean, it's a secret passage for a reason. So you go down to a rocky tunnel. You will have to crouch and wriggle through a few bits because Darian has a huge sword and he's built like a brick shithouse. And yeah, but you do manage to get through. Who's at the front of the party?
I think our captive is kind of a little bit in front leading us, but then I mean I'm more than happy to be at the vanguard, but I'm wondering if there's an opportunity from a traps perspective, if it makes sense to have Vigil up there, as long as if it gets, I don't want to also put demand you put yourself in harm's way, but I think we know there may be traps, so it might be wise for you to be right behind the kind of the captive or whatever.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, and I think like we've established kind of that I was sort of the bad cop before, so maybe I'm kind of leading him along. And he's
Holding
got
his
like
leash or whatever.
Yeah, he's got like his hands are tied behind his back, and I've still got like the dagger like out, and I'm kind of guiding him along in front of me, but also scanning, for anything
so
that looks out of
this is-
place.
Trap expert roll plus dex.
Okay. Okay, 5 and 1, so 6 plus 2, 8.
Get rid of some of these dice. Okay. 8. Oop, where's my thing? So you got 1.
Yeah, let me take a look.
Why isn't this letting me? Cut and paste problems again. Alright, so is there a trap here and what activates it? Or what does a trap do when activated? Or what else is hidden here?
Yeah, is there a trap here and what activates it?
Yes, there is. And it's a good old-fashioned pressure plate on the floor.
Is it like easy for us to just get around it or over it, or how would that
If you could either try and jump it or just have like a plank or a stick or something across the top so your weight doesn't go down too much.
Okay. How long of a jump would it be?
That's only cobalt built, so probably 3 foot.
What do you think? Do we just leap over it? Do you want to, Darian, do you want to just throw our friend here over your shoulder when you jump over it? And Well,
Jerian would actually be the problem. His armor is it's going to be hard to do it without making noise.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing sort of sticking out about the other two that I would think would be an issue because it's only 3 foot. But
So it's a pressure plate of some kind.
yeah,
That will activate something. What
you could
I wonder if we could trigger it.
jump it. Yeah, or you could try and lift it up so weight doesn't push down because you've just lifted up the whole floor panel.
Oh, okay. So it's like it's gonna be like a pit, like we're gonna, if we step on it, we're gonna, okay.
Yeah, well, you could either get Vigil to disarm it, you could just try and jump it, or you could just use your Ben Bar's lift gates to, lift the whole plate up.
So if we do that, lift the whole plate up, we could probably just reposition it in a way that we could get across or something. Is that what we're thinking? I could try to do that. I could try to lift it out of there and then reposition it in a way that we could just walk over it safely.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, so yeah, roll plus strength.
All right. I will be marking an XP.
All right, so it looks like there was when you what can I do here? No, you I mean you still mark XP. You did manage to bend the plate, but on the bottom of the plate is your family crest.
Interesting. He's obviously very, very surprised at that.
And you would probably notice too, Vigil, because you've looked at his sword. You know how valuable that thing is. Have you still got the mouse with you, Elevor? Is he on your shoulder or something? Or you muted?
No, he let the mouse go back. He made a new friend. But he makes lots of new friends. He's in the back. He's got an animal form in mind, but he's happy. This is Vigil's element right now, and he's happy to let him take the lead.
Okay.
So, Darian, matches your sword.
Yeah, that's a surprise. I think his mind is racing right now because what does that mean, right? Does that mean that this is? Does that mean that this might be a part of his legacy? This building, this keep or whatever it is.
There's something I don't get here, Darian. That sword seems a bit too big for kobolds.
Your sword can never be too big.
So, sounds like your family must have been pretty loaded.
Well, I wouldn't know. It's been a long time since my family was a family.
You know, I always knew you had the air of a rich guy about you.
Okay, so you've been the plate. You can step over the trap now. That's fine. I won't activate it.
Yeah. I think we'll continue on then. I mean, I'll continue to keep the kobold in hand in front of me and scan for traps.
Okay, so you come around the corner, and it's sort of a 20 by 20 foot room. There is a bunch of barrels and boxes. It looks like they've been here a while. There's a couple of kobolds. I can even show you a picture. Oops. There we go. So there's some kobolds like that. They're not actually casting a spell at the minute. So, and there's also a dragon, but it's not like a full-size dragon. It's like Great Dane size. It's only a little dragon. I don't have a picture for that, but it's orange. Because why not? Actually, no, screw that. It's light blue. Says, what are you doing here? What's one like, what are you doing here?
And
David, I think you're still muted.
That's the dragon speaking or the kobold?
Yeah, that'll be the dragon.
We're reclaiming the rightful heritage of my friend here. Go on, clear out. The rightful owner is here.
So Darian's, gonna is looking at the dragon and says, "Are you in charge here?"
This is, this is. They keep talking like that. I'm not going to do the accent the whole time. Anyway, it says, this is our home. I am in charge of the kobolds. I am Chris Crack. Who are you?
You can call me Darian. So you've been causing a lot of problems around here, and we've been sent to stop that. This could probably go down a number of different ways. I would prefer it if you took your brood, your pack, and relocated somewhere else. However, if that is not amenable to you, we could certainly handle this differently.
It kind of looks at each of you, sort of snorts after looking at Vigil, looks at Elevor.
I sort of wave back. Hello.
You smell like pine trees.
It's a good smell, isn't it? You could do to spend some time out in the pines yourself, rather than down here in this musty tunnel.
It's kind of pacing back and forth, and it's kind of looking at you guys and looking at the kobolds. You can tell it's sort of thinking.
Good boy.
You can hear some barking further off down the tunnels.
You know, the weather in the Harken Forest this time of year is superb.
I've heard that. I think someone should roll Parlay.
I can do that.
To try and yeah.
I'm the only one with a non-negative charisma. +1. Okay.
Well, I don't know. Fictionally, it makes sense for me to roll it because I'm the one who's threatening him. But even though
I mean, you could roll and he could roll aid because he's kind of trying to establish a rapport about, hey, get out. This is an opportunity to a new life. It's sort of the vibe I'm getting from Elevor.
Yeah. Either way, I can aid, or you can aid.
Yeah, well, maybe that makes sense.
Well,
if Elevor is
because what's the face? Darian kind of made the ultimatum, so he should probably roll, and we'll just say that Elevor's assisting or aiding because of he was establishing a rapport and stuff.
Okay, cool.
I've got one bond with Darian, so I'd roll +1 here. Is that how that works?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do we need the parlay roll first, right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, here it comes. I believe I am going to be -1 at this. So I rolled a 7, but it's a 6. So,
but his aid would take it up to 7.
Yeah, I succeed.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. That's an 8.
Yeah. So you
7
both
plus
involved,
1.
and the rapport that Elevor's established. The fact that Vigil doesn't seem like a threat to this thing actually helps because it's less of a confrontational situation. He looks at your knobbly knees and snickers. So what did you suggest? The Harkin Woods?
Mm-hmm.
It's a bloody oh, so it's just to the south, like a day's trip to the south. Yeah.
Like twice as far from Fallcrest, not too far. There's even another manor down there I could take over.
You're gonna herd all the monsters to the one location so they can unite.
Look, I'm not the longest term thinker here.
Well, actually, if we just herd them to one place, then go there and hire ourselves out to move them to another place, and then go hire ourselves.
But you're movers, not adventurers. Yep.
Yeah, sounds like a good grift to me.
I'll tell him that I happen to know for a fact that there are deep in the what was it called, the Harkin Woods?
Harkin Forest. Yep.
Harkin Forest. There are ruins abound from ancient times. Plenty of space for you to live, raise your younglings, and have some degree of safety and prosperity for yourselves. We're not interested in exterminating you, or your business is yours, but it just can't be here anymore.
You're too close to the humans. You see, you got it. Conflict's inevitable if you're here.
Yeah. So yeah, well, they say there's like Colton Manor down in the Harkin Forest. So yeah, I mean, how do we know you're not going to come down there and kill us or persuade us to leave again? We've made a home here. If we move to accommodate you, what guarantee that you or other humans aren't going to come and attack later?
You would have my word, the word of the Labar family.
Just look at the crest on this sword. This is his ancestral home. We have We simply are taking what is rightfully his and would have no reason to ever bother you again.
But if you want some assurances, the best assurance is a good deal. Once you're not harassing us, perhaps we could find some mutual arrangement. There would be, there's things of harassing humans in the hills, the Moon Hills too. If you take care of them, Falkars would be very happy with you. Keep them occupied.
So you're saying this deal that you are saying is a good deal is part of an ongoing or potential ongoing alliance between?
Well, I'm just a farmer. I got no ability to make a deal, but it just seems to me there's grounds for cooperation beyond this drafty hole that apparently Darian grew up in or something. I'm confused on some of the details here.
All right.
I think we have sort of a live and let live. We tell them it's a live and let live situation. But you take and raise your younglings and live your lives, but just stay out of just stop raiding caravans and stay out of the way of these others, and we won't have to. We'd have absolutely no reason to ever see each other again. But there is always profit in relationships.
If you bring some food in the next 3 months, like meat, chicken, goats, sheep, whatever, bring some meat in the next 3 months, we'll see that you are good to your word.
I guess we can huddle. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean,
I'll look at Elvor saying, "I know where we can find a lot of fresh meat."
I mean, look,
Kobolds love cat. Apparently. Sorry.
I don't want you to have the wrong idea about it. Animals are my friends, but it's the natural way for animals to eat each other. I have eaten many of my friends over the years.
That's a comforting sentence.
His eyes are just sort of like looking slightly not at Vigils, like sort of like off into the distance as he says that in a vaguely discomforting manner.
But there were more rats in the attic Vigil was in than there is in this keep, so you can always just go and get them a shitload of rats.
Yeah, I'll round up the rats. You round up some of your farm animals, and I don't know.
We could buy some like
Yeah, lifestyle's cheap compared to regular stuff.
And stuff, and when we're sort of when we get back and collect our pay. I think am I hearing? I guess I should say. I guess we should say. Am I hearing? We agree to those terms.
Yeah. You could buy a bunch of livestock quite cheaply.
Like Vigil and Elevar. Does that seem okay to you? Is that agreeable to you? And if so, then I say we do whatever dragons and others do to seal the deal. I was gonna say we shake on it, but that's that may not be.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's something we do to agree to it, but if we're agreed, we're agreed. So
It's fine by me. You know, he didn't specify the young animals, so we'll give him the the ones that have lived full lives.
Okay, so I'm happy to have you guys resolve this peacefully. As players, do you want me to throw a twist in where they go no because you feel like a combat and I can easily turn this to combat, or you?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I like how that played out. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, all right. They say it's going to take a bit of time to pack up our stuff. That was disturbingly peaceful. Okay. I think the kobolds start packing up. The one that got bitten by a snake comes limping in because his leg's still not too good, and he's like, why was the other one playing hide and seek? I got attacked by a snake. What's going on? They explain, look, we chat to these people. We got to go now. Okay. So, what do they leave behind? There's some abacus they leave behind, and there's a couple of trap kits. We'll say 3 trap kits. Apart from the keep itself, of course. Yeah, I mean, they don't bother to clean it or nothing. They just take their stuff and go. So it needs a lot of repair and cleaning.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the first thing, like, I don't care about the abacus or the trap kits or anything like that. The first thing I do is start planting a little garden. Got to make the keep feel like home.
Well, there's kind of flagstone things everywhere. You could dig them up or just do a garden outside. It's up to you.
I think he digs up the flagstones, like in the little courtyard. It's like, no, this is much better as a garden. And he spends like a day or two like prying up the flagstones and hauling in some dirt. I think he like shifts into uses a sledge and like shifts into an ox and pulls it in himself. And
you also find a few daggers and like dice and cards. This obviously I did a little bit of gambling. Okay. All right. So the kobolds leave. Do you sort of hang around for a couple of days, or are you going straight back to town, or what are you going to do? Looks like Alavor is doing a garden. What's Vigil doing?
How far from town is this keep?
Oh, something like a day, but it's like a full day.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely want to mess around with those trap kits a little bit, see if I can figure them out, and kind of look at how I could, if I could figure out how to lay a trap with them. I'm assuming that's what they're for, right? They're not trap disarming kits; they're kits to actually create a trap, right?
Yeah, they're to create traps. So yeah, you got 3 of them.
Yeah, I guess I'll, if Elavor's out working in his garden, I will take some time to kind of study
the hell out of the garden. No,
no, I'm not going to set the traps. I just want to study them and make sure that I understand how they work. Yeah.
All right, and Darian, what are you doing with this key?
Yeah, I think he's searching around, like exploring the I mean, I don't know how big this is that we're talking about. Is it something in between? It's not like a castle, right? It's like maybe like a fortified manor house or something a little bit bigger, or is it a full on? Yeah. So he's walking around. I'm assuming there's really no. It's pretty bare bones, right? There's no.
Yeah.
There's no.
There's not a lot of furniture or anything. No.
Yeah, there's no nothing or anything, but
And the walls were established to be very wobbly and unsteady.
right. I would think maybe it'd be nice, Vigil, if you could figure those trap kits out, maybe we could at least set something, maybe like if there's a kind of a main, maybe set at least one of them out or somewhere to try to, since we're going to leave to go, I'm assuming we're going to leave at some point to go collect our rewards, or our pay, and maybe it'd be nice to set just to protect our investment a little bit.
So you've got the sort of central courtyard where they used to have bonfires, that there's now a garden. So this is above ground, and this one area is open to the sky. The rest is enclosed, and this is below ground.
Right. That's so the upper left is above ground?
Yes. Yep. That's above ground. This is below ground.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I mean, I'll try and set a trap for kind of like the main gate.
When you leave, I presume.
Yeah, when we leave.
Yep. And the secret entrance as well.
Yeah, I
Seems
think
like the
so.
secret
Maybe
entrance-
reset. Maybe we could reset that one with something different, because that's one thing Darian does want to do. He wants to take whatever that was that had the family crest on it and bring it up, and maybe he has it, set up somehow inside the courtyard or something.
It looked like it was like a metal shield that someone had just flattened out and used as a floor plate.
Yeah, so I think he'll clean that up while Elevar's gardening and Vigil's trapping and whatnot. He'll try to clean that thing up the best he can. And
I might get Darren to do a discern realities since you're having a look around the building,
Sweet.
see if you notice anything.
I could use some more XP.
Let me just get rid of some of these dice.
Let's see. All right, so that is a wisdom, right?
Yep.
I at least have a +1 there. 11.
Oh, killing it. All right. So
Very observant, apparently. All right.
at 3. Well, you know what happened here recently, so that's a bit pointless.
Yeah. Yep. I'm going to ask what here is useful and valuable to me.
The keep itself, if you actually get the written land, rights to it, then you can actually have the land around it and rent that out to farmers or whatever. You can be a lord with grounds and stuff. Unfortunately, just because you found your family's emblem here doesn't mean it's yours. They could have brought that from somewhere else.
Okay. And then what here is not what it appears to be?
Nothing. Unfortunately, it is a fairly rundown ruin.
Okay. What do you guys think? I'm thinking between what is about to happen or what should I be on the lookout for? Any preference, you guys?
The former would be interesting. The latter's more obvious.
Sorry, so which one?
What is
So
about
the
to happen?
obvious one is what should I be on the lookout for?
Right.
the former is less obvious, which sometimes gives more interesting answers.
Mhm. Yeah. So what is about to happen?
Well, I mean, if you're not here often, something else is going to move in. It is shelter from the weather or whatever.
We'll just have to pay someone to take up residence.
Dad, I'm hungry.
I'm gonna step away for just a moment.
No worries.
I actually need to leave in a minute or two anyway.
Yep. All right, so we can just say that the party are heading back to town, if you like.
Yeah, and then I think we can figure out what and how we might deal with this location. So.
I might do end of session while David's here. So I'm going to increase the size of this. Do we learn something new and important about the world? You can negotiate with monsters, I guess. You don't have to kill everything. Yeah. I mean, you kind of suspected that, but you proved it recently. So yes. Did we overcome a notable monster enemy?
Dragon.
Well, you freed up a notable location, so yeah, I think so. Dragon, the dragon's breath was nasty, but you avoided that.
All that garlic.
No. I'm gonna make your pizza tasty. Take this. Ooh. Yeah, no. Did we loot a memorable treasure? The keep, kind of.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get 3 experience points each.
I'd argue I helped something grow for my alignment if we're doing that.
What did you help grow?
I grew a garden.
Oh yeah. And yeah, you chatted to the mouse and okay. Let's forget about alignment XP. So Tim, you get 3 XP.
Where is this coming from?
I don't think anyone got 8, but some of you might have got close with a few failures there.
Yeah, so I didn't think my alignment defend those weaker than you. I don't think that came into play. So
I mean, you agreed to not kill the younglings and stuff.
I mean,
No,
if
you
you
were
think
a
about
good person.
goodness as an alignment, that probably is
Yeah,
good.
so I think you should get a point for that. You could have easily gone a lot more violent and you didn't. So yeah, you get a point for that.
All right. Okay, cool. So 3, and then I had 1. I had 1 or 2 fails.
You had 2 failures.
2 fails.
I'm pretty sure.
All right, so 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I got 6. So, oops. I don't think I hit. I don't think I hit any
David's
bonds.
got
Yeah, no bonds from me.
Did any of those evolve though? Did they change because you fleshed them out, or? I don't think so.
No.
No, it's about the same. Yep, that's fine. All right, since David's got to go, David, is there anything you want to do, sort of going back to town, or when you get back to town with Elevor?
No, I mean he's not he's contemplating like, am I gonna at some point move my farm up to this place if we like take full possession of it or something like that, but that's not a now problem. There are other more important things to be dealt with before he brings his vulnerable animals out into the wilds.
Obviously, we got a day away from town. There are a few farms in between here and there too, so it's not super out in the wilderness.
We just gotta have like a hireling there to guard it or something like that before he'd do that. I mean, you got lots to catch up on with the animals. The cats will have really interesting stories to tell about all the adventures they got up to.
Yeah, and I'm wondering too if there is an opportunity to potentially before we even leave. Let me throw this out there quick, and then we can before we leave the keep. What if we contracted to have a couple of the kobolds stay behind, and keep the place up?
Well, I don't think we could trust them.
Well, I mean, we've cut a deal with their leader. They could be some labor to start doing some stuff. I mean, the reality is if two kobolds stayed behind, there's not much they can, not really much they. I know Darian wouldn't be too worried about. He feels like we've come to an agreement with what was the dragon's name again?
Oh, Crick Crack.
I think you might be underestimating how much damage kobolds could do. But then he sort of looks at Darian and sort of sniffs a little bit and nods, and with sort of a satisfied smile on his face, and doesn't actually say anything. No, we need to find someone in town who's looking for a job. And
surprising that he's a little surprised that a druid would trust other people, but especially townspeople. So, but yeah, he's okay with that. You're probably right. They just foul the place up even more. The kobolds.
All right. Since you got to head off, David, is there anything else you want to do back in town? You chat to your animals.
Yeah, no, nothing for me.
Okay, cool, bananas. Alrighty. All right. So, Vigil, anything on the way back to town or back in town you want to do?
I guess what's the nature of our reward that we're getting?
Okay, well, we can hop over to Darian. Darian was the one sort of getting that mission from Targon, the Dwarven Bard. So that was 100 gold each. Okay. So, yeah, part of the reward was the rights to the keep. However, part of that does imply a duty. Like if there's monsters in that area, it's your responsibility to get rid of them.
I'm gonna keep listening with headphones, but I'll be back wandering around.
I think I always dreamt of living the high life as a lord. Like that's I mean I'll take care of some monsters if we get to move into the keep. Like when do we? How much time are you going to give me to pack? I'm on my way.
Because like if an ogre moves into the area and starts attacking caravans, the town, the merchant caravan or the town can sue you for the damage of the lost goods, sort of thing. You're financially responsible for that area, so it's not all.
Yet those guys always seem to live the high life, So I mean, I'm on board. We start renting out the farmland, fix up the place, and then still some adventuring on the side, of course, to supplement the lifestyle. That's what I say. But
yeah, I mean I have mixed feelings, right? It's potentially an ancestral. All we know is that there was a family crest thing there, right? But it could be, right? But that's a lot of responsibility right now, and are we going to be up to are we going to be up to doing it? I don't know. It's we'll have to rely on hirelings, and my God, we'd be able to use the recruit move. I mean,
yeah, I was just looking at that. What can we do back in town here? Doesn't get done often. So do you want to get some people to go out to the keep?
Yeah, I think we need people that could start to make repairs, and then at least some basic protection for it. We have 300
tradesmen as well as general guards.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think. Sorry. Yeah, I would. I think I would agree. I mean, I don't think at first we need a large contingent. I mean, I think our number one goal is don't allow something else to move in, right? So be occupied so that and then, I don't know what you're thinking, Vigil, but maybe we recruit a few guard-like people and at least some laborers to start, cleaning the place up, and then we buy some supplies and we head back to. There's no reason why we would stay in town if we could stay in we could camp there. We could get we could get enough stuff to be reasonably comfortable. I've seen your rooms. I think you'll be plenty of in the.
This is going to be a huge upgrade. This is a step up for Vigil. I mean, this is like,
But I mean, fictionally, if you want to say, actually, Darien was part of a platoon and a bunch of them lost their houses in a recent flood and they, 6 of them need a home or whatever, that's fine. We could sort of justify that. Or
yeah. I mean, that might be kind of cool.
Has 2 families worth of siblings that need a home because they're sick of squatting or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that might be kind of cool to say that he put the call out to some of his former compatriots, that are down on their luck, and to join him and there and which would allow us to continue
so we'll
our
recruit and add +1 because you've got your reputation with these former soldiers or current soldiers.
And then would there be a potential
this move?
Me neither. If Parlay is an underused one, so is recruit. Would there be an option in this if needed for aid from Vigil, like some smooth talking and whatnot, if necessary?
I'm not sure how looking at him that would help get soldiers.
All right, let's give it a shot. Yeah. If we keep this up, I'm gonna level up by the end of this session. I got a 4 + 1.
Okay. So, they trust your reputation, but they're like, kobolds don't even have toilets and stuff. They, it's like if you want us to come and stay in a place that kobolds with, you got to help us clean up. Like scrape the poo off the wall, all of it. It's not going to be clean there. It's going to stink. It's going to take a lot of cleaning. So we don't want to come and just, you sit back on a lounge chair while we're doing all the cleaning. You got to help out.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think I'm like nudging Vigil. I said, yeah, we're definitely, we definitely know it's a fixer-upper, and we're more than willing to roll our sleeves up. And I'm like nudging him, because full well knowing that he's not most likely not very attuned to rolling his sleeves up. So let's keep it.
And yet I am okay with getting my hands dirty. So I think, we can do it.
Visual is complicated.
But maybe the sort of the downside is you realize it's not just taking equipment. You've got to take cleaning stuff as well because it needs a good clean before you actually start repairing it and that. So, yep. Right. Okay. All right. So we can say you. So you do that. Are you doing anything else in town, sort of as a group or individually, or so you're getting supplies to head off? Sure. Anything else?
And I think we want to get some of those. We said in the next X number of months we would bring food to crack, right? It wasn't like immediately, so yeah. So I think we'll just get the provisions we need and everything to kind of set up, camp in the and to start to try to make it mildly livable. I'm assuming we would fell trees and do what on site to fix anything that we needed that for. So it's really just provisions and stuff, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean it's not in the middle of the woods, but there are a few trees around. You could certainly do that and tidy things up a bit. Vigil, you doing anything in the town on your own, or you're going to celebrate? You're going to listen to rumors? You're going to I don't know, go wenching? I don't know. What's your thing?
Yeah, I think I've got with some coin in my pocket. I think that there's like some seedy taverns that some of my other scumbag friends will frequent, and so I'll take the opportunity, go there, get to be a big shot, buy everybody a round of drinks. And,
okay, so you're actually carousing. Okay, yep.
Yeah. I'll carouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll. You're not spending like 100 coin though, are you? It's not that much.
No.
I think you have to, don't you, for carouse? I think that's basically what it is.
And roll +1 for each 100 coins spent, for each extra 100 coins spent.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
We can say he's spending 10 or 20, but
I mean, is Vigil the kind of person who would absolutely blow his entire paycheck on carousing afterwards, and like emerge a few days later and he's broke again?
Maybe. Yeah. Honestly, probably. Yeah. That's probably how I've.
All right. Rolling that one then.
All right. Let's make sure I have the dice selected. How do I deselect dice? There we go. And okay. So looks like 5, 6 plus 1. Good thing I spent that 100 coins. 7. So something happens. Yeah.
Pick one of them.
Let me just take a look at that.
While you're thinking of that, Elevor, doing anything in town before you as a player have to head off?
No, I think I'm good for now.
Okay.
He's other characters might be like taking a more active role and trying to like buy supplies for the renovations, but he's not nearly such a planner. So thanks everyone. I got opera tickets for tonight, so I have to head out to not be late.
Have a good one.
See you guys next week.
Yeah, see ya.
Okay.
You hear rumors of an opportunity, I think is what I'll go with. I guess, and I have the catacombs, but if there's other opportunities maybe available for a score.
You want close to town or outside of town?
The catacombs are in town, so let's go for one outside of town.
Okay. So that would be a cleric needs an escort to the Sword Barrow.
An escort where?
To the Sword Barrow to the north.
I see it there. Okay, got it. Do I know what he needs? Like, do I know anything about the Sword Barrow? What is it? Why would a cleric want to go there?
That sounds like spout law.
Okay.
So consult your accumulated knowledge roll plus int.
Okay. 3 plus 1, 4. Do I get to mark an XP?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
There's like heaps of swords and stuff in the ground.
Cool.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. But
I think
people
we'll definitely want to be going there. That sounds like there's nothing nothing could go wrong.
It's about 3 days to the north.
Okay.
But it's a barrow, so it's like cold hills and stuff. So what's that? Okay. So yeah, they've got that, and you've got catacombs beneath town that there may or may not be anything interesting in. All right.
I was wondering if I don't know if this plays out right with the bonds, but I'm wondering if there's an opportunity, given that Vigil went and did, I'm trying to think of a way maybe to resolve that bond around, Vigil went and snuck in there, did his thing, didn't need me to come and help him, because I've got this whole OU life thing. I'm stretching. I'm trying to find one more XP because if I do my level up and stuff, that probably is a stretch for that. It's probably that bond probably resolves more if he saves my life or something like that.
Yeah. Or you save his life a second time or something, but
yeah. All right. I could go try to fail at carousing, I guess, if I really wanted to.
Well, he was carousing, so you could have been there and being more sober, or at least more sober than him, and someone tries to take a swing at him because he was mouthing off or something, and you could roll, what do you call it? Defend.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm pushing my luck here, so I'm good. It won't be long.
What happened with carouse? Oh no, carouse is, yeah, you heard the rumor. That's right. Okay. All right. That's probably a good spot to leave it. You've got, you're going to take the supplies back to the town, back to the keep. You'll have to think of a name for the keep at some point, because you don't want to keep calling it Kobold Keep, I presume.
It's got a nice ring to it, alliteration and all that. But
and you got 2 potential missions outside of general exploring.
Cool. Yeah.
I
think I satisfied my alignment. Avoid detection or infiltrate a location. I feel like I did both of those things.
Yeah.
So if it's all right with you, I'll mark an XP for that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
Did you mark for all your fails?
I think I only had. Did I have just 1 6 minus?
Yeah, that
right?
sounded right. Yeah, I think Jerian failed the most.
I came in first at failing.
Actually, no one got any damage. I'm gonna have to dish it out next time. Yeah. All right. Let's go. Let's go stars and wishes because it's the first one. So, any stars for anyone? Joe, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. No, Blake, thanks for getting up early and running a game for us all. And
That's right.
on the other side, thanks for getting up early and running a game for the rest of us on the other side of the world.
That's right.
And no, I think just everybody's character seems like it's going to be pretty interesting. David's not here, but I think that's going to be. He reminded me a little bit of who's the weird other wizard in the Lord of the Rings that's in the woods.
Radagast?
Yeah, he reminds me a little bit of Radagast.
Yeah, so I had that thought when he was talking to the mouse.
I was envisioning Radagast a little bit when that was when he was playing and Tim the the Han Solo of Dungeon World here with I imagine you being the heart of eventually the heart goal. But I do like the especially the rotted out teeth, the whole thing. That was pretty cool.
Much less appealing Han Solo.
Yeah, I was thinking Magneto.
Right.
Yeah, he does not look like Harrison Ford. Let's just be
Han
clear on
Solo
that.
with beer goggles, right? So,
Yeah, exactly.
so no, and wishes. I just think I mean, it was first session, right? So just more play, right? So it's cool.
Yeah.
Too many thoughts?
Definitely star Blake again for setting this up for us. So this is actually, I've played other pbta games before, but this is the first time I've actually been able to play Dungeon World other than just reading the book. So thank you for that introductory experience.
Well, I mean, we didn't get into magic combat much, but that's easily fixed. And
that was great. It was
happen.
It was great to just great to kind of see how the system works a little bit. So thank you for that, and also just star to everybody. I think there was the scene where seemed like maybe we were gonna like encounter some like kobold young or something, and I think that I just started everybody the way that we were able to handle that just out of character, and that we were able to not engage with it in that way, that we'd be in a position to like harm the young of any creature. I think that was really awesome, very cool for me. And wishes, I guess, to just more danger, more peril, combat, all that stuff, I think will be really fun. So wishing for that.
I ran a game with a group, and they I played one group where they just wanted to kill everything, but I played another one where they just try to befriend everything. And they'd go up to every group and say, do you dance? No? Well, you're no friend of mine then, because they're playing the Safety Dance song. But, they try to befriend everything. They took pig's blood to a vampire instead of killing it and stuff. And it's just... but...
I've had mixed like, on the Gauntlet games, a lot of the games I'm in, everybody is trying to find like alternate solution. So they're not trying. There's definitely a desire not to murder hobo it, right? Like it's trying to be. And so I haven't had good luck yet in like the times I'm trying to be like, hey, I want to mix it up a little bit. Everybody's being like, no, let's go do this other, right? And it's just I have been a little off there. And then like that game we played in, I finally was like, you know what? I'm going to play a character who does things that's not just straight up killing. I'm going to try to do twisty things, right? And then it was just like, no, let's just go kill everything, right? And it's like, I'm like, well, I can't. I'm like, it's like,
that's cool.
Yeah. So,
I like
but I know. I guess from a wishes perspective too, just to tack on, I think Tim and I have played a couple games. I think I know I like it. I think we're similar in a good balance of those things, right? Like, we have more than just one tool in our tool bag, right? So let's try to solve problems different ways. But don't get me wrong, I didn't pick a fighter to make peace all the time, right?
There's some stuff that's just nope, it's gonna attack first thing. But
right. Yeah. So, but I do also like the aspects of creating alliances and doing things that aren't just straight up, right? Like I do think it would be interesting at some point in future sessions for this whole thing with the dragon and others to come back, right? As maybe as an ally of some sort, or even not, right? Something might be kind of interesting too, So,
Hey, no, I've noted it all down, so it's all possible.
Yeah.
All right, we'll leave it at that. I'll just in the